So for this discussion, I watched the documentary United States of Tents on Amazon Prime, and it was a really insightful documentary on homelessness. And it focused on how the homeless population is rising very quickly and very steadily in the United States. Unfortunately, I didn't get the exact number, but it was a very large, very alarming percent of increase. And it talked briefly on episodic and chronic homelessness, which is episodic is temporary or recent homelessness in a way, versus the chronic is just the individual is not likely to come out of a homeless situation. It said most of the homeless people are still working, but they just cannot afford housing. And that brings us to inflation and the incredibly high cost of housing and food and childcare, which is a real struggle for low-income individuals and families, and it just brings them right to the edge. And depending on where you live and the cost of things, it can put you right into homelessness. The institution that homelessness probably affects the most is economics, because your economic stability is probably rough or non-existent. Some people are working sometimes multiple jobs, and they still are not going to be able to get ahead or get savings enough to actually put themselves back into a permanent accommodation. They're just working so they can still eat. There are housing projects that are giving homeless people a place to live and getting them off the street. There are also food shelters and different homeless shelters for people to just come in off the street. There are government actions taking place to try and solve homelessness. This documentary was filmed in 2018, I believe. So it used 2018 statistic of $6.1 billion spent on homelessness. However, it seems that there's just a disorganization kind of problem keeping these government actions from actually providing relief. It talked about California, the governor, and then there was a organization, I believe, working on San Francisco, and the governor was blaming the organization for not taking care of these people, and the organization was blaming the governor for not receiving proper resources. However, there are individual and nonprofit organizations. The documentary focused on Atlanta Aid and Veterans Community Project. They interviewed a couple people from both of those organizations that are helping to bring people off the street and try to bring them back into the community in a way. The Veterans Community Project was giving veteran homeless people in particular a residency so they can come back into the community and start to be an active community member again. So for the prompt, what actions do you think should be taken to keep the working class and low-income people off the street to try and prevent more people from becoming homeless? What do you think?